Christian, kind of just an overall thought on this one. How difficult was it with the ending and everything that you had unfold in the final few minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, we went out there and fought, but Miami came and they they played better than us. So just gonna get in the film room tomorrow and be ready for next week.
Hey, Christian. Guys had a lot of success defensively for much of the afternoon. What went right for you guys for about first 55 minutes or so, and what sort of went wrong on that last drive that Miami had?
Yeah, I mean, we had a plan. We came out. We did for the first, like you said, 50 minutes of the game. We stuck to our plan and did what we had to do. Towards the end of the game, we didn't execute like we should have. That's all it comes down to.
Christian, you were on the field a lot defensively. How much did you feel that was a factor on that final touchdown drive for them?
I mean, we don't look at it like that. I mean, it's we as a defense, we pride ourselves on being able to go out there and bend but don't break. That's kind of our mentality. No matter how long, how many quarters it takes, how many hours, how many minutes it takes, just going out there and we can be tired, but give it all we got.
I was going to follow up on the interception. What did you see on that play?
Yeah, I mean, it was they made a good call. The coverage we were in that allowed me to be able to jump that route. So just saw it and went and made a play.
Christian, on your interception, can you just talk us through what you saw on that?
Yeah, I mean, we were in a good coverage, and I was backside. It's being a corner. You got to be aware of where you are on the field, who's in front of you, where everybody else is, and the flow went away, and I kind of felt it, and was able to make a play.
Christian, just from a team perspective right now, what is the reality of the situation you guys find yourselves in? 1-4, obviously a lot of guys down today. How would you assess where the team is at?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard. It's hard to lose. We're professionals. This is what we want to do. We want to go out there and win games. But I mean, it hurts. But I don't question anybody in that locker room. We all stick together. We all come in and just go to work every day. You learn from wins and you learn from losses. It's a part of the game. So I mean, we're sticking together, and nothing's gonna make us not stick together.
Christian, all that said, what's the level of frustration like? I mean, that's 4 in a row, and if it's not one thing, it seems to be another during the course of this losing stretch.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. We come in, we put in work, but we got to work harder. Nobody cares. We got to come in, work harder, and go out there and execute better on Sundays.
We'll do 2 more questions. I think you would defend Randall.
Christian, on the near pick in the end zone, can you just walk us through that play and why you weren't ultimately able to come up with it?
Yeah, I was kind of just going back to it was a coverage we were in. Felt him run away, and we're in the red zone, so he can't run as far, so I can undercut. Hit my hands, and I did a poor job of not looking it in. I was too eager to run before looking it in, so got to do better at that.
Christian, we saw you go up against Tyreek a lot today. What was it like going up against someone like him who's very speedy and all that on offense?
Yeah, he's an amazing receiver, amazing competitor. He changes the game, so you can feel when he's on the field, him and Waddle. So being able to go up against them is good for us, and we get to see him again. So yeah.
Thanks, Randall.
Thank y'all.
Guys, we'll have Jerod Mayo next.
Look, obviously a very disappointing game. I There's no question like we're tough, but we just have to be better from an execution standpoint. We got to be able to execute in situations. We got to be able to execute on a play-by-play basis, and we didn't do that. I would also say as the game wore on, our fundamentals began to slip, and that could be a combination of things. But look, we'll watch the film with a critical eye, and we just got to put a better team out there.
Jerod, but the 12 penalties and like you just said with the execution, what are you telling your team after a day like today?
That we can't do it. We talk all the time about pre-snap and post-snap penalties. It just wasn't a good day.
Jerod, how would you describe the separation at this point between Jacoby and Drake at quarterback? Is there a big gap between the two of them?
I don't want to get into like the separation talk. I will say, look, Jacoby's out there trying to do what we've asked him to do from the start. He's taken some big hits, and his toughness continues to show up. Execution from the entire offense has to be better going forward. So.
Jerod, just obviously the defense had held them down for a better part of the game.
Yeah.
Do you think fatigue factored in on the 15-play 80-yard drive to put them ahead?
Yeah, I know for a fact fatigue played a part in this game. You think about Marte, this being his first game and playing pretty much every snap. I appreciate him doing that, but at the same time, like we got to get off the field. We got to be able to move the ball offensively. We have to win the time of possession game, or at least be close. Which once again they controlled that.
Jerod, on the pass to Jalen in the back of the end zone, the closing minutes, what were your thoughts on how that play unfolded? And did you get an explanation from the referees on how the ruling and how it was overturned?
Look, you guys can ask the referees about that. I thought it was close. It was close, but it was the correct call in my opinion. But I'll have to go back and watch the film. I saw the replay live. Just a tough call.
Hey, Jerod, just to what do you attribute the lack of production in the passing game?
I think it's a combination of things. It's not just one person. It's everyone just going out there and executing. It's not even knowing what to do. It's, all right, a piece moves. We got to be able to identify that and go out there and execute. So.
Jerod, what did you think of the way the offensive line played today compared to the last couple weeks?
Yeah, I will have to look at the film. I would say there were times where the pocket looked pretty clean, and then there were times where you had a free runner right up the A-gap, and we got to do a better job taking care of that. It's about consistency. That's what it's about. It's about consistency.
Phil Perry on the left.
Jerod, late in the game on third down, they called a pass interference on Christian Ellis, led to a touchdown drive. Did they explain to you the foul on that play? Was there any sort of explanation after the fact?
That's a question for those guys. They threw the flag, and we always talk about, we'll do business is being done. We just got to do a better job as a whole, with penalties in general, whether it's holding or pass interference or anything. Look, I don't think the referees are just out to get anyone in particular. I think we just got to play smarter.
Jerod, just as the head coach, how bothersome is it that things like discipline, penalties, production is getting worse, not better?
Yeah, the pre-snap stuff definitely bothers me. And look, we have guys that they're out there, they're trying their butts off, but at the same time, going back, not to sound like a broken record, it's about execution, especially in critical situations.
We'll go up here.
Jerod, anything that you can anything that you can share about Rhamondre Stevenson? We saw him really efforting to get off the field late in the game, but I don't believe he went into the medical tent.
He went back in the game after that. So
I'm sorry.
We'll see. We'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Andrew Callahan.
Jerod, through 5 games, how would you assess the job you're doing as a head coach and your staff as a whole?
Well, I would say for me, look, it's all about getting better. It's all about learning. It's experience. Look, there are definitely things that I have to do better as a head coach. I would say the staff, they're still, they're getting on the same page. And once again, like I said earlier, it's about getting better every week. And that goes to communication between the staff, and then obviously I have to do a better job as a whole.
Jerod, you guys got down to the 12-yard line at the end of the fourth quarter and called 4 straight passes. Is there any thought of running the ball in that situation since you guys were more productive on the ground?
Well, there were a bunch of conversations about that. We ended up throwing the ball. That's what we decided to do, and ultimately it's my decision. I would say, we average, over 7 yards a carry? I'm not sure. So that definitely was part of the decision, or I should say part of the discussion. We just didn't finish it up.
Jerod, you talked about the offense needs to get going points-wise. 10, 13, and 3 the last 3 games. What kind of things can you do as the head coach in your mind to get more points produced with this offense?
You know, we tell the guys all the time, you know, once you cross the white lines, it's your offense, it's your defense, it's your special teams. You got to take accountability. And, you know, we got to look at ourselves in the mirror, starting with myself and the rest of the coaching staff, and we just got to continue to progress.
Jerod, you talked, I believe, this week or last week about you expected to take some lumps. My question is, did you expect the lumps to be to this degree and the nature of which you're losing?
I expected to take my lumps just like a lot of other first-year head coaches. So, look, I'm fine with that. Once again, it's about the guys in that locker room, and we have to be better. We, including me. So.
Last question, far right, Sophie Will.
Hi, Jerod. Over here.
Oh, sorry.
I was just curious. We saw Keon White take 2 penalties on the same drive, both for 15 yards. Just what did you see from that drive, and kind of what was your message to Keon when he got off the field?
It comes back to discipline. Once again, it's all about discipline. It's about execution. I think those are the right calls. Thank you.
Dietrich, you've played a lot of football in your life. I just want to know your level of frustration after a loss like that.
Tough one. Definitely wanted to win. Wanted to get this one in the win column. One of those things that we'll watch the film and we'll see what happened to see what we can fix. But definitely wanted to get this win.
Dietrich felt like this game had a lot of stoppages, a lot of flags getting thrown. As a game goes on like this, do you as a team sort of go like, oh, like they're calling this one pretty tight? Do you have ways to adjust to that sort of development as you see the game go on?
Yeah, we can pick up on the referees' tendencies if they're calling this game tight, if they're letting us play, if they're aggressive in certain areas. We just got to continue to play in our techniques and fundamentals to prevent those calls, whatever that they may be.
Dietrich, the go-ahead touchdown drive, they ran the ball 12 times. The final 7 plays, you guys were out on the field quite a bit today. Did fatigue at all play a factor in not getting off the field there?
When you have a 12-play drive, it does weigh on players, but at the same time, I don't think that wasn't a factor, the fatigue-ish. I just think there's some things that they just capitalized on that we didn't. And that's pretty much it.
Dietrich, to kind of follow up on Trey, I think it was a 7.5-minute drive. How mentally challenging is that as the game progresses? Is that for you guys as a defense to keep grinding, and hang in there?
Yeah, definitely. When you have those type of plays, you have the mindset of like bend, don't break, make them kick a field goal, not score. Unfortunately, they end up scoring on that drive. But you definitely want them to either have in our mindset when you get on the field is always 3 and out. When they start pushing the ball, the next thing is either get a 3 and out or get a field goal. And we weren't trying to let them score, but they end up just getting one over on us.
Back to Trey Deer.
Dietrich, I think it would just be natural, just 33 points offensively. The last 3 weeks is, in any way, it start to be frustrating that maybe you guys just aren't doing enough collectively to win these games.
The only thing we think about on the defense side is defense. Our motto is they don't score, they don't win, and at least make them kick field goals. So we have to come up on the defense side with ways to prevent them from scoring the ball and prevent them from kicking field goals and just get on the board. And that's kind of our mindset. We don't worry about anybody else, and that's pretty much it.
Just following up on that, Dietrich, how are you guys? You're not used to this at 1-4, another loss, another tough day. What's kind of the message to the guys in the club in the locker room right now as you go about your business?
Staying together, making sure that we always stay together, sit together, stay positive, and when we get back on the field, get back on practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, we correct what we saw. And that's kind of our mindset. We got to continue to keep grinding. We've been similar in this predicament before, definitely in my career. And the only thing we have to do is just continue grinding and fix our mistakes. And that's it. Simple. Thank you. No problem.
Jacoby over here. Did you get an explanation? Did you get any sort of explanation at all regarding the pass to Jalen in the end zone that was ultimately ruled incomplete?
No, the game kept on going, so we didn't get any.
Dan Roach in the back.
Jacoby, just kind of the frustration of not getting more points in the end zone today, and the mental mistakes, the penalties. How much did that? kill you guys?
It was frustrating. You know, it honestly just nothing was good. You know what I mean? Penalties taking us backwards. We just honestly got to play better. It's getting to that point where we just got to play better. Penalties in the wrong situations, in bad situations, and we're not good enough to do that. And to go backwards to try to score points. We need to continue to go forward. And we gotta change that, fix that.
Thanks, Jacoby. You said you've got to play better. Are there anything specifically that you can point to about your offense that can get better in the short term before the season gets out of hand?
Yeah, we got to score more points. In the short term, that's what we got to do. We got to score more points.
Jacoby, toward the end of the game, you went no huddle several times. You seemed to get a rhythm, seemed to go faster. Is that something, you enjoy, and would you like to see that incorporated more?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to go back and watch the film and see if that's a possibility too as well. Yeah, we had some success in it, but it's a lot of plays before that caused us to lose this game. It wasn't because we just went into no huddle and we're making yards. We got to play better. We got to execute, and we got to play with good fundamentals and technique and do the right things.
As a leader on this team, how do you keep the frustration from boiling over after a game like this with so many penalties and losing 4 straight?
Yeah, you got to go back and watch the film, and that's the part about this league where now is taking it from the classroom to the field, and in those critical moments and treating every day in practice like it's the last play of the game and we're down and we need to make a play. I think that's what it's going to come down to, and it's going to come down to, and you watch all the penalties and whatever the case may be, it's all come down to fundamental and technique, and that's what we're lacking at right now.
Kyle's in the middle.
Jacoby, during your first possession for the 2-minute drive, was the idea there to try to put some points up and try to go for a double score?
Say that again?
During your first possession during the 2-minute drive, I was wondering, was
at
the
end of the game?
Before halftime, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was the idea to try to go for the double score, like obviously score before halftime and then come back out and try to score again?
Yeah, I mean that's always the plan, especially when you get the ball in the second half.
Jacoby, what do you think needs to change with this offense to get it to the level where it needs to be?
We got to play better, man. It's no magic thing that we need to do. We just got to play better. We gotta execute better. We got to play with good fundamentals better. We got to do all the little things better. I think that's what we're getting to. When you back and watch this film, it's not about this person, that person, this play, that play. We just got to play better as a unit.
Jacoby, when it comes to the penalties, is there anything you can put your finger on to just sort of help explain why we're seeing as many as we're seeing?
I can't do that right now. I have to go back and watch the film and be able to really assess that. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to come down to fundamentals. I know I keep saying it, but that's probably what it's going to come down to.
Dan Roach in the back.
Kind of a follow-up to that. Do you feel like you're seeing things where okay, I think we can get there if we cut those mental mistakes down and things like that? Are you starting to see things?
Oh,
at least
for
some
sure.
progression?
Yeah, we're making plays. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot. We're going one step forward to go 20 steps back. It's like we can't do that. And until we get to that point, we're going to continue to be frustrated at the small things. And you can't leave the game into the ref's hand. That's not what football is about. You got to go out there, play with good fundamentals, technique, do the little things right. This league is so hard already. The margin of error is so slim, and to not be able to do that because of lack of focus and a lack of things that we all have control over, we're not good enough for that yet.
Thank you, Jacoby.
Yep.
We still have Hunter Henry and Rhamondre Stevenson.
Rhamondre will be our last person. So we'll start with Dan Roach in the back.
Rhamondre, we saw you come out and come back in. Start with that. How you feeling? What happened on that play, and what enabled you to come back in?
I just felt helmet right into my leg, right into my calf. Really, is what it was. But I just had to make sure I was good, and I was. I felt all right to get back out there.
Rhamondre, follow up to that. Do you anticipate it? I know you came back in the game. Sometimes adrenaline can lead you back in. Do you anticipate it being a problem going forward?
Nah, I think I'm good. Yeah.
And then offensively, how would you describe just what's holding maybe the offense back from being more productive?
Honestly, can't really say right now, Mike. I'm gonna go back and look at the film though, and I think it just stands on execution. We need to go out there. The play calls are the play calls. We need to run those plays and execute them at the highest level.
Rhamondre, how do you feel like the running game was today? I think you guys averaged almost 8 yards a carry.
Well, I mean, yeah, you say if we could average 8 yards a carry, that's a great day for us.
Rhamondre, on a positive note, no turnovers for the offense today. How are you feeling about where you are with ball security issues concerning the start that you had?
I'm feeling good about it. I just need to hold the ball.
Rhamondre, on that note, can you just describe how you felt running the ball today, how freely you were able to run, and if at all you felt like you were holding the ball too tight after how the first 4 games went?
Yeah, not at all. Plenty of conversations with my coaches and the head coach Mayo and just my teammates and everything. A big thing was just be myself. The ball is the ball. I have to come up with it, but the main thing this week was just be myself, run how I run, and don't think about it too much.
Walk us through the touchdown run a little bit, if you could, in terms of the way it all kind of developed, what you saw, how it all kind of came about.
Great play. I like the play call. I got outside. I don't really know exactly how it happened. I need to watch the film, but just got outside. Receiver was over there blocking. It was Booty. Booty had a great block on the corner, and I just ran off the corner and seen the end zone, had to get to it.
Rhamondre, I know you talked about, it's just better execution. The play calls are what they are. We got to run those plays. How often do you feel like you're running into favorable looks when you run those plays?
I mean, a good amount of time. The NFL is the NFL. It's a hard game to play. OC, DC, those are important jobs in our league, and I feel like they have a more challenging job than we, give them credit for. So it's just kind of like a mind game. Just at the end of the day, we just need to run the play, no matter if it's a blitz called on that play. Just do your job and make the most of it, I would say.
Rhamondre, it seems like you guys had a lot of success with outside zone today, which is impressive considering how many new guys you had up front. How do you feel like it's coming along, that specific concept? Because it seems like you guys are getting better at it every week.
Yeah, and I think that should be the case, throughout the season. Just more reps at it. The outside zone is not an easy play to run, especially for the guys up front. So, the more reps they get at it, the better we should be at it.
Dan Roach in the back.
Rhamondre, you talked about it earlier about overcoming more adversity in your life. Just kind of take us through from your perspective what it's been like, what's it been like with your coach and kind of getting through everything, and how good did it feel to come through today with what you were able to do?
Well, I mean, I know what I could do. I know, what I produce on the field, and, so does my coaches, honestly. So it was just, just play my game. I feel like I'm good with the ball in my hand. I make people miss, and, I mean, it's very simple. I don't know what else to say, but I just need to hold the ball, and I feel like it's really that simple but complex, but just need to come up with the ball every time. So it was a good week for us.
Final question, Andrew Kelly.
Rhamondre, I know this sounds silly at 1-4. I know guys in that locker room are disappointed, frustrated. For you, how would you describe your mood, understanding you've had a lot of struggles offensively to start the season?
Well, I mean, it's a team game, the whole 9 yards. So no matter if I was fumbling, not fumbling, we're not getting wins under our belt. So I feel the same way everybody else in the locker room feels. And I'm ready to just, get back next week and attack it as hard as we can and try to get a W. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.